Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today we're doing the what's next on Jaron Boots Ennis, the undefeated welterweight contender, who's put himself in position now after another dominating knockout victory, this time over Custio Clayton, stopping him in only 2 rounds. He pushes himself towards a world title shot. And now, that was a final eliminator, so he's directly in line to fight for the IBF title, which is currently held by Errol Spence Jr. But the IBF, I think, and Errol Spence are willing to pay step-aside money for the undisputed showdown with Terrence Crawford to happen next. And I think Boots Ennis, out of respect to the game, should allow that huge fight to go down, with him being guaranteed to fight the winner, even though it's not likely either guy would fight him. So the big question is, what's next for Jaron Ennis following that win? Now, there's been a lot of talk. There was a rumor came out that Keith one-time Thurman could be fighting Jaron Ennis next. I don't know how real that is. Keith Thurman, does he want that smoke? I mean, he might win over them. I think Thurman's looking at it like this, that the winner of Crawford and Spence is likely moving to 154. So in order to keep them here, he's going to have to go get a big win. And I think a win over Boots Ennis puts Thurman right there. But can he beat Boots Ennis? We don't know. But that would be huge for Jaron Ennis in his next fight. Because Keith Thurman's a former champ. And he's been there and he's done that. And that would be huge. That would be a big name. Thurman put himself firmly back in the top 10 with a dominant performance over Mario Barrios back in February. So that would be big. Now the rest of the top 10, I got Errol Spence number 1. He's not fighting Boots next. He's he wants to fight Crawford, and if that fight doesn't happen, I think there's a good chance he moves up in weight, to be honest. Next is Terrence Crawford, the undefeated WBO champion. He's not fighting Boots Ennis next. He's going after Spence for undisputed, and if that fight cannot be made, then I think Crawford likely is moving up to 154. Then you got your Ennis. He got beat down against Errol Spence. I don't think he wants to come back and first fight out go against go against Jaron Boots Ennis. So I'm going to say no. Danny Garcia. I don't think Danny wants to risk himself if he's going to continue at 147, because he already said he was moving to 154 last year. It didn't happen. He's been out for nearly a year and a half now. And there have been talks about him returning, but I really don't think he wants to return against somebody like Boots Ennis, so I'm going to say no to that one. We already talked about Keith Thurman. Virgil Ortiz, these two sides are not going to get together. The PBC and Golden Boy are not going to work together with their 2 bright, undefeated welterweights to make a fight happen. Radzab Butayev, he's coming off the loss to Stanionis. Not a bad matchup right there. If Butayev was in that fight against Stanionis, it was a very good fight. I'd say why not? Because I think that fight makes a lot of sense. I think Butayev, he works with the PBC. Ennis has signed a deal with Showtime for his next few fights, so I think that one makes a lot of sense for Boots Ennis and Butayev to get it on. Stanionis, I don't think is possible, because Stanionis, if he's got a mandatory due against Errol Spence, but he's probably going to allow the Spence Crawford undisputed title fight to happen, and then that's going to leave him open, looking for options. But I'm not sure he wants to fight Boots Ennis next when they're both in line for a world title. So I don't think they're going to want to fight each other. Boots might want to fight Butayev, but I don't know if Butayev wants to fight Stanionis. And then you got Conor Benn and Cody Crowley sitting there at the back right there. The Conor Benn fight is too hard to make, and I'm not sure Eddie Hearn or the PBC want to put their 2 undefeated stars against each other next. And then Cody Crowley, I think that fight makes a lot of sense. Crowley just dominated, he convincingly defeated Josecito Lopez. And I think while Boots Ennis is waiting around, why not fight Crowley? They're both undefeated welterweights on the rise, highly rated by the IBF. It makes a lot of sense. And, hey, it could end up being for the vacant IBF title. But we got to wait and see what goes down, because everything circles around the undisputed title fight. potential between Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford. If that fight doesn't happen, then all the pieces on the chessboard get knocked off in its wide open season. So we're gonna see. I really believe that fight is gonna happen though. And then Boots, if the Thurman fight is not a real possibility, which I'm not gonna believe that until Keith Thurman and confirms it and actually the fight gets made. I really think guys like Radzat Butayev and guys like Cody Crawley are very real options for Boots Ennis next. So we'll see what happens, but that's what I got. That's what's next on Jaron Boots Ennis following his dominant knockout victory over Custio Clayton on Saturday, May 14th on Showtime. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. And this is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.